welcome to HR in the Fast Lane. Today I'm absolutely honored to have Angela Hickey. She is somebody who's been leading a law firm, Levenfeld Pearlstein, here in Chicago. 20 years you've been in the legal industry, right, Angie?
Sure.
It's truly something, though. I met her not just through her law firm first. I met this woman years ago. She invited me to a Girl Scout Awards presentation, and it was amazing to come and witness how she works philanthropically throughout the community. It's one of these things, you meet people, right? You meet them through work, but when you really get to see into the person and you understand the way that they support and bridge to the community, you want to get to know them more. So she's truly a woman that I've had the opportunity to get to know a little bit better, and their firm is a firm that's been highly recognized. As you know, here at HR in the Fast Lane, we're all about where culture meets financial performance, right? Something that simply is not commonly understood in terms of the execution of results. But Levenfeld Pearlstein has been recognized as a firm, one of the best places to work in Chicago consecutively on a number of different platforms. In addition to the fact that they absolutely have been recognized nationally for corporate social responsibility, which is something that not every firm just gets right. And so I'm absolutely just looking forward to sharing her with you. So without further ado, I'm going to stop talking. Angie, tell us a little bit more about just your firm.
Okay. Well, first of all, thanks, Nicole, for having me and for showcasing Levenfeld Pearlstein.
Absolutely.
We're so excited to be a part of this and to really share what we've done in our firm, which we're very, very proud of. And I must say, in addition to what you just said, we have been recognized by the National Law Journal for 2 years as being a mid-size, making the recognition on their mid-size hot list. So
oh, really?
Really
Congratulations.
excited about that. So we've been recognized by our peers as well as in the other areas that you mentioned. And it's because we've really dedicated a lot of energy, time, efforts to building a firm from the inside out that creates an experience for our clients that they don't often receive from law firms.
Isn't that interesting? I love hearing you say that because it truly is, in professional services especially, all about the client experience.
Absolutely.
And you're a leader that truly understands that it is the talent within your firm that bridges directly to that client experience. Tell us a little bit more about, I know you coined it the LP way, and you have LP Wayers. Tell us a little bit more about the LP way.
Sure. So let me back up for just 1 minute and provide a little bit of context about the legal industry.
Okay.
So that we understand what we're dealing with. So lawyers by definition are autonomous, and most law firms are organized in partnerships. So everyone wants to have a voice, everyone wants to be a part of the decision-making process, and no one wants to be told what to do. So how do you get anything done in an organization with those dynamics? It's definitely not by telling them what to do and saying, here's the rules, go and do it. It's by engaging them and really understanding what makes them tick and aligning their personal interests with the interests of the firm. And so our industry, the legal industry, is very much in a state of transition. There is intense downward pressure on price. The competition for talent is really a war for talent.
Yeah, I definitely think sometimes the talent's won, right? Picks where it wants to go.
and the competition for clients is more intense than it's ever been. And so how do you distinguish yourself in an industry with those dynamics? And it's definitely not by being a good lawyer, although all of our lawyers are. So are all of the lawyers in the law firm next door. You cannot distinguish yourself as a law firm based on having good lawyers. And so for Levenfeld Pearlstein, we determined that the way to distinguish ourselves with our clients and in the marketplace is through the client experience. To build a client experience that is unparalleled and it's consistent no matter who you deal with inside of our firm. And so to build that, to create that client experience, we had to build systems and structures and make sure that that experience is unparalleled, is a good and consistent experience. Everyone in the firm has to be behind that.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things when you say that it's really like every client experience would be lived in the same way. You are talking about something so involved, right? It's not something where our values are just on the wall. Right.
It's very pervasive, and I'll just quickly go through the steps of the LP way. So it's a 5-step process, very simple by design. The value of the LP way is in the execution, not necessarily in the content, but it's a 5-step process, and each step builds upon the next, and each step is important and is essential to the LP experience. So the first step is to attract talented people. That is directed to all of our recruiting efforts, our branding, it's about our image. You have to have all of those things in order to attract talented people. The second step of the LP way is to model, what we call model the LP way. And those are our non-negotiable values. Those are, we're highly collaborative environment. I forgot to ask you in advance if I could say this, but we do have a no asshole rule.
I think that's just fine.
One of our non-negotiable values.
It's a good one.
And so we do need to practice what we preach. It's not just, as you said, words on the wall.
Right.
This is what we expect of people. The third step of the LP way is to build effective practice groups. And this one's really, really important because the lawyers and the paralegals and the people in our practice groups are on the front lines with our clients. They're the ones who have the most interaction with our clients. And so if they're not working together in tandem, if they're not on the same page, if they're not all really exhibiting the values of the firm, then the client experience falls apart right there. So we invest a lot into planning and strategy for our practice groups, and even in our practice group management talent. Training that, making sure they understand how to run an effective group.
I want to pause on that point because Angie, there's something so fun in terms of how you guys are doing training per se within your firm. And I think when we talk about succession planning, we talk about experienced, seasoned attorneys essentially transferring and sharing their experiences to the younger talent that's coming into your firm. Tell us a little bit about how you do that.
Sure. So I think you're referring to some of the role-playing exercises that I mentioned. We have retreats and training periodically, just like every other firm does. But we really do try to have hands-on learning and not just sitting in a classroom absorbing information. And part of the hands-on learning that's been very, very successful in our firm is the role-playing.
I love it.
And what it does is it creates vulnerability, it creates trust. It's very helpful for the younger attorneys in our firm, for example, to see some of our more senior, seasoned attorneys role-playing how to deal with a difficult client situation. Because sometimes the younger attorneys think, well, those guys don't have these problems. And of course, everybody has challenging situations with clients. It's how you deal with them. It's how you recover from a problem. Those are the skills that we try to encourage others to really just be open about.
Really living that in such a way too where it's bringing people together across the multi-generational platforms and in a fun, playful way. We talk here at HRN's Fast Lane about how it has to be like info funtainment, right? It can't just be your PowerPoint presentations like you said, and so you're really putting that action learning into place.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about how you holistically feel that you've created this common language, but to the place where the entire firm has embraced it.
So that's actually leads me to step 4.
Oh, great.
So step 4 is you have to have effective system alignment. So step 3 was practice groups. You need effective practice groups. But you also need to have your governance, your succession, your support systems. Everything kind of needs to be working together. They can't be competing with another. And this is really challenging from an organizational development standpoint, to get your all of your systems working together and not competing with each other, breaking down silos, which naturally occur unless you do something to make sure that they don't. So the LP way doesn't work unless we have system alignment. And a big part of my job as executive director of the firm is making sure that the systems are in tandem and that where there are opportunities for the silos to begin to arise, it's my job to go in, identify them, and break them before they get too large.
Tell me about how your leadership style, your communication focus in terms of your Ask Angie sessions. Tell me about your sessions and how that might help bring that forward.
You're just giving me, this takes me right into step 5, which is the final step of the LP way. So thank you for that transition. Step 5 of the LP way is ask for feedback. So it's one thing to say, this is what we need to do, these are the steps. It's another one to say, let's check in and see if we're really doing this. And we do check in. We check in through the use of surveys about we have an operational effectiveness survey.
Okay.
We have a partner survey. You know, are each and every one of our partners living up to the values of the firm? And we ask that of every single person in the firm.
Is it anonymous?
Yes, that one's anonymous.
Interesting.
We have, and of course we have traditional review and evaluation systems that are attributed, but the surveys tend to be anonymous because people are more trusting then and more open. We ask our clients we have an interview program, so we have a client feedback program. But you asked me about Ask Angie sessions, which is something I've been doing in the firm for many, many years.
Tell me.
And it's kind of an open Q&A session where I invite anyone in the firm who would like to hear what we're doing, ask me questions about anything, challenge me about anything. I am a member of the executive committee and the compensation committee, and I'm responsible for all of the operations of the firm. So there's really not a question that I don't know where to find the answer.
Right.
I may not have all the answers myself.
I love that though, right?
But the value of the Ask Angie sessions is not so much in the information I share, it's in the openness of our culture. And I get hard questions from clerical type people, and I invite that. I want everyone in the firm to feel like it's their firm, and they are invested in it. And how do I know this? So just recently we did stay interviews with all of the staff in our firm.
Great.
And I can't tell you how impressed I am with how engaged people are in the LP way, in the client experience that we're trying to build. And it's because I think we have this kind of transparency in how we operate. And let me tell you, sometimes I'm definitely challenged in those sessions, and they take me to task on, you know, some decision that was made, or not every decision is one that people like, but they respect that we're willing to own up to it, we're willing to state this is why. And that's kind of what we're all about.
It's good accountability built into the process. I definitely am curious though, you know, when you're doing these different feedback, not only internally, peer, but also externally to the client, how do you take the external client feedback, something that's so important to you in terms of delivering that client experience and bridging it back to the actual effectiveness of your team? How are you linking that back in terms of the accountability of the performance management and the internal self-awareness of the person who's giving the client delivery?
Right. So self-awareness is paramount to the entire LP way. If we're not willing to look at ourselves in a mirror, it's not going to work. And so our philosophy is that even if you don't like the feedback, we're going to have to share it. It doesn't help anyone to not share it. So we do incorporate the feedback into our performance evaluation system and our compensation system. This gets into why the systems need to work together. But even more importantly than that, understanding the feedback from our clients drives our business and our business strategy. How do we know what kind of services our clients need if we don't ask them? We have to stay in touch with our clients. And yes, the feedback does inform our performance management system, and we do share that feedback. But again, more importantly, it informs the strategy of our firm so that we're aligned with where our clients need us to be.
That's wonderful. I mean, in my opinion, you've done a wonderful job of just really sharing what is making just this huge differentiator in your firm in terms of executing on your business strategy, but also executing on your promise. Right? Of the client delivery and the experience. And that's not an easy task. Executing on business strategy, aligning your workforce, aligning your systems. You have a lot to really be proud of. And I'm just so happy that you could come on my show today and share it with our guests. Thank you so much, Angie. Yes. Tell our guests a little bit more how they can find you.
Sure. So we're at www.lplegal.com, and the LP Way is posted on lplegal.com on our website. And please, I'm there too. So just give me a call or email, and we'll be in touch.
It's wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Make it a great day.